Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban's love story, What Really Happened? 19 years. That's how long Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban were together. Everyone thought they had the perfect marriage. But now, it's over. And fans everywhere are asking, what really happened? At first, the news was simple. The papers said irreconcilable differences. That's a fancy way of saying they couldn't fix their problems. Both of them were polite and quiet about it. But people close to them say the real story is much more complicated. Some say Nicole didn't want the divorce at all. Others say Keith stopped loving her a long time ago. Something strange is going on here, and when you look closer, it gets even more shocking. Before we tell you everything, make sure you subscribe and click the bell icon so you don't miss what happens next in this amazing Hollywood story. The calm before the storm. For many years, Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban seemed like the perfect couple. They walked red carpets together, went on family vacations, and always smiled. Everyone thought they were happy, but something was changing behind the scenes. People close to them say the problems didn't start overnight. Keith's work trips got longer, their phone calls got shorter, and when he came home, things felt cold. Fans even noticed small changes. They didn't appear together as much, and Keith's songs started to sound lonely. But no one thought they would really break up. Friends say Nicole thought it was just a rough patch. She believed that once things calmed down, they would be happy again. But the quiet between them wasn't peace. It was the sound of their love ending. And then, without warning, something happened that changed everything. The divorce papers. On September 30, news broke that Nicole Kidman filed for divorce in Nashville. After almost 20 years together, the court papers said irreconcilable differences. It sounded normal and calm, but that didn't tell the whole story. Behind those simple words was real heartbreak. People close to Nicole say she didn't really want this. She thought their marriage was getting better. One friend said she was completely shocked. And even though her name was on the papers, people say it was actually Keith who decided to end things. Nicole filed in Nashville after 19 years, but Keith had already moved out earlier that summer, while Nicole was still trying to fix things. So why would Keith walk away after 19 years? Because something had changed in his heart, and it happened fast. Nicole's heartbreak, she didn't want this. Behind all the news stories, there's a sadder truth. People close to Nicole say she was completely surprised by the divorce. She really believed things were getting better, not worse. When she and Keith talked late at night, she thought it meant they still had hope. So when Keith said he was done, it wasn't just a breakup, it was a huge shock. She didn't want this, one person said. Nicole thought they were finding their way back to each other, but Keith had already stopped trying long before the papers were signed. While Nicole was trying to save their marriage, Keith was already planning a different life, one without her. Keith's secret decision, the summer he left. While fans still saw happy photos of them together, Keith Urban had actually moved out of their Nashville home that summer, months before anyone knew about the divorce. To Nicole, the space felt temporary. To Keith, it felt like freedom. In interviews, Keith had said he felt trapped. He called his daily routine soul-sucking. At the time, no one understood what he meant, but looking back, it sounds like he was saying goodbye. He put his feelings into his music and performed on stage. But when the lights went down, rumors started spreading. People whispered about two names that would soon shock everyone and add a whole new twist to this story. Because what started as heartbreak was about to turn into scandal. The rumors begin. Once the divorce papers were signed, people in Nashville started talking. Rumors spread that Keith Urban wasn't alone. His name was being linked to two different women in country music. The first was Maggie Baugh, a 25-year-old guitarist who played music with Keith. Fans noticed that during one performance, Keith changed the words to his song, The Fighter. Instead of singing Baby, he sang Maggie. People online went crazy, thinking it wasn't just a coincidence. Then came the second name, Kelsea Ballerini, 32, a famous singer who had also just broken up with someone. Together, these rumors shocked fans and broke Nicole's heart. None of it was proven, but in Hollywood, rumors don't need proof, they just need attention. Denials and damage control. As the rumors spread online, Keith's team fought back hard. They said the stories were completely false. They insisted his friendships with both women were just professional. People said Kelsey was only a support. I's friend and Maggie's connection was just about music. But for Nicole, even the rumors were painful. Someone close to her said her worst fear was seeing Keith with a younger woman, not because she was jealous, but because it would prove her biggest worry, that their marriage ended because of someone else. Behind the scenes, Keith's team tried to stop the stories, but the rumors wouldn't go away. In fact, the denials only made people more curious. And for Nicole, Keith's silence said more than any words ever could. Nicole's worst fear, a younger woman. For Nicole, the rumors weren't just gossip, they were her worst nightmare coming true. People said her biggest fear was seeing Keith with a younger woman on his arm. The thought alone made her very sad. After all, Hollywood can be mean to women over 50, especially when the man moves on first. It wasn't about jealousy, it was about respect. For almost 20 years, she built a life based on love and loyalty. Now, people were talking about replacements half her age. Friends say she's trying to stay strong, but inside, her heart is broken. Still, Nicole wasn't ready to give up, at least not yet, because deep down, she still believed their story wasn't over. Hope or just denial? Despite the pain, someone close to Nicole said she would get back with him in a heartbeat. Those words show how much she still loved him. People say she kept hoping Keith would change his mind, that this was just another problem they could solve together. But people close to Keith said he had already moved on. To him, it wasn't a break, it was the end. It's painful to see, one person fighting for love, the other quietly leaving. And while Nicole waited for a phone call that never came, the legal papers told a colder truth. The story was already over. But what came next proved this wasn't just emotional, it was final and official. The papers that ended everything. No matter what Nicole hoped for, the law had already decided. Court documents showed that Nicole would take care of their 2 daughters most of the time, 306 days a year. Keith would have them for 59 days. The paperwork wasn't emotional. It was exact, final, and quietly sad. According to reports, the official plan was signed weeks before the public knew. Nicole's copy on September 6, Keith's on August 29. It included the exact day split and an agreement that neither would say bad things about each other in public. Those papers were signed weeks before the world found out, proving that while everyone saw them as united, the split was already done. Friends said Nicole didn't fight it, she just wanted to protect her children. For her, the love story was over, but being a mother was still the most important thing. Behind all the glamour, this was the quiet ending of a chapter that once had red carpets and promises. And though the papers closed the marriage, they didn't close all the questions people still had. The public silence, choosing grace. After everything happened, both Nicole and Keith did something rare in Hollywood. They stayed silent. No interviews, no mean comments, no mysterious social media posts. Just silence. And in that silence, the world saw 2 people handling heartbreak with class. People say this was on purpose. They both agreed to protect their daughters from public drama. No one wins when the truth becomes entertainment, one person said. This reminded fans why they loved this couple in the first place, dignity over drama. But silence can also send a message. To some, it meant peace. To others, regret. And as the world waited for one of them to speak, a bigger question started forming. Was this really the end, or just the calm before something new? The final question, what happens next? Now, the world watches and waits. Will Keith Urban focus completely on music again, or will he appear with someone new? Will Nicole finally talk about what happened, or will she rebuild her life quietly, as she always does? For Keith, this might be closure, a chance to breathe again. But for Nicole, friends say it still feels unfinished. After 19 years of shared dreams, it's hard to accept a clean break. The feelings linger long after the papers are signed. Fans online are divided, some hoping they get back together, others hoping they find freedom. But one truth remains: even the most beautiful stories can end quietly. And sometimes, the loudest heartbreaks are the ones no one hears.